Wow, that's never done that before.
Wow.
Weird. I hit the record button and did you guys hear that? Recording in progress.
Yeah.
It's never done that before, so that's a new thing. Okay, everybody. This is Ryan Summers. This is the Life Autistic Podcast. This is episode 29. I can't believe we're getting up there to 29. That's crazy. Recording this in May of 2021. With me, as always, Drew, Dr. Drew, aka Skittles. How you doing, brother? Always good to see you, man. I feel like it's been forever, but it's only been a week or two since I've talked to you, but I feel like it's been forever.
I know, it's been too good to see you.
That?
Good to see you, friend.
Yeah, you too, man. Always good to see your smiling face. You've been working out? You look good.
I'm feeling better. Yeah, my wife and I have been doing like this couples. What's Michael got there?
Yeah. Well, let's introduce
Michael's
you.
something.
This is Michael who's joining us today. And what do we got here, Michael?
This is my book that I wrote back from 2019 to 28 to 20. I found it completely like when the COVID started, just.
Yeah.
Sick.
Michaelism.
Yeah, it's true.
Explain, Michael.
Well, yeah, that's a good place to start. Tell us about your book.
Started writing it back around 2018-ish, something like that. The book took me about 2 years to complete in the making. But now I felt happier because of the sales are going success as crazy,
Really?
Yeah.
Big sales.
A little big sales, actually.
So tell me about the book. I want to know what's it about, what's your perspective, and how does it relate to the autism, especially the adult autism world? Sorry to steal your question, Ryan. Frig.
It's all good, bud.
Oh, thank you. All right. Here we go. Let's begin with the first question. Where I grew up. Okay. I was born in 1991 at a hospital called North York General Hospital. Moved up to Thornell like around I was 7-ish, where I have lived since throughout my whole life. I have one older brother named Jesse. We're 18 months apart. We were in same schools until high school. I went to a high school where they had a surprise Asperger's class in high school. Just people should be accepted.
Yes. So they had a separate Asperger's class in your high school.
Yeah, let's stop there.
Oh yeah, it's true.
That's interesting. Wow. What was that like?
It's a long story.
Okay.
Was it positive or negative, Michael?
Positive,
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Here are the early signs of autism. I'm going to tell you right now. I didn't answer to my name. Had a lot of tantrums. Always had something in my hand, straw, doll, or spoon. And come to think of it, yes or no, on my mom and dad's side, an uncle, he was a pharmacist. How do you say the word again?
Pharmacist?
Yeah, but social skills were poor. I do have a cousin who has Tourette's, Asperger's, another cousin who was with Asperger's. I mean, I was diagnosed after 3 years old. My parents were in disbelief so hard, had second. I don't know what to say, but I'm not nervous.
You're not nervous? Did you say you are nervous or you're not nervous?
A little nervous, but don't take me too wrong. I have therapists come to my house every day, and they would help me with my life, with my social skills. Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing great, dude. You're doing great.
Thank you. I spent 3 days assessing me. She told me my parents I was definitely reading. As a child, very frustrating that people did not understand. And that commuting was hardest for me. To tell how I was feeling or what I wanted took time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Around
We
4-ish.
agree with you. We feel that, man. We understand that it's not a. Sometimes society has a race for productivity, but in the autism world, it's sort of like on our schedule.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's going to be good. God damn it.
Hell yes, I will.
Keep going, Michael. Keep going, bro.
Okay, thanks. At around 4-ish, 4.5, my parents hired Dr. Lee from California to come into the city 2 times 3 a year, train therapists and gave program in ABA.
Mm.
It was very everyday 3 hours. It went for 3 hours. I have 4 therapists. I even had one that always went to school with me.
Oh,
You know?
wow.
A therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your experience with ABA?
I'm not finished yet.
Okay, we'll just let you go, and then we'll ask questions after.
And thank you. And also went to summer camps with me. I did not start to speak until maybe age 8, before the 90s come to an end. And now that you mention it, it was one-word answers until eventually I could give sentences. I was ready at 3-4 years, and I was taught to read very earlier as well. And that's how I began to speak. I received diagnosis at age 3. Don't remember much, only what my parents tell me. Every one of my therapy sessions were taped, and my parents still have all that, and all of my process notes. Just they always do. I was not speaking, not answering to my name, no eye contact, jumping a lot, and pacing around like I always do. Always holding something in my hand. Like, for example, this.
Can't see it.
What is that? I can't see it. What is that, Michael?
It's that thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to show you this. This is the fidget spinner.
Oh, yeah.
Recognize this?
Yeah. Those are great.
Yeah. They help people to calm themselves down.
Yeah. I got one on my desk here somewhere, buried in a pile of.
Really?
All right.
You guys have the best T-shirts on, and I have freaking New York Knicks. I want an autism shirt. Just a side note.
Oh, I noticed that.
I'll get on it. Oh, autism dad. That's so great, right? Okay, Michael, where were we?
I won this from anyway.
Sorry.
Oh,
Another time. I'll ask you about it another time.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about practice at all. My parents tell me a lot of different testings and a lot of doctors, It's just, I was and still am very lucky that I have my family who cares about me. Like family and friends who always supported me throughout my whole life and understand me and accepted me. And that's why I'm just Michael. And yes, they still support me. Make sense?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
At first, I'm Michael. I do have autism, but I'm mainly me. I can't change who I am, only try to cope and do the best I can. I have good grades. Oh, let me rephrase that, shall we? I have good and bad days, but everyone does. I mean, I'm very lucky that my parents let me choose things I would like to do, like DJ lessons, photography courses, computer courses, skating, swimming, curling lessons. Oh, and I even love Japanese, like Ogenki desu ka, Sekai, Yume, or some of that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like read some of the parts in Japanese, like "Tashikani ni," or I'm gonna like read the most of the parts, like Haru, spring, Natsu, summer, Aki, autumn, Fuyu, winter. Arigato is thank you. Ishigatsu is January. Rokugatsu is June. Shishigatsu, July. And finally, Kenyobi, Friday.
Friday.
Onegaishimasu.
All right, good. All right. Well, but it's surprising. I decided to continue at Japanese night school. I got highest level.
Nice.
And I am able to speak Japanese, read, and understand Japanese. I always watch Japanese TV shows and dramas. I love the J-pop music like Exile, Ayame Hamisuke, Kota Kimi, and Yutara Hikaru.
Cool.
Anyways, how does question number 7, right?
You know what? Honestly, Michael, we kind of we flow wherever we flow. Whatever you want to. What's on your mind? What honestly, when you got up this morning to come on this show, what did you want to talk about?
Anything. Let's take for example. Well, jobs are very hard to get, especially if you want something different. I would love to live on my own. I would love to drive. I would like to make money to support myself. I'm not there yet, but I hope that I can be independent one day. I respond to things like questions, all that stuff, better when I write a response. Verbally, I process slower. I also volunteer at my dad. Oh, sorry, I was stumbling.
No. Where do you volunteer?
Yes, at North York General Hospital, the same hospital when I was born.
Whoa.
Yes.
Very cool.
For 8 years since 2013, and with COVID, I really miss doing it.
Yes.
I must not see my friends for bowling shows, dinners, and Comic-Con conventions.
Mm.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Michael?
Thornhill,
What state is that?
Ontario, Canada.
Oh, you're in Ontario, Canada. So are we.
Yeah, I thought I heard California earlier. Did you
You said-
spend some time in the U.S., Michael?
I always go on trips like that.
Yeah.
The last trip I went to Las Vegas was back in 2019.
Oh, cool. So you said Thornhill?
Yeah.
So that's like north of Toronto? Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. For some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah,
I thought you were in the States. I don't know why.
Okay. I'm really going to say this again. How do you see autism in general? Oh, sorry. I see a young man who had struggles with autism. As a child, it is trying to improve himself. I am trying to help myself so that I can help others. That is why I wrote my book in the first place. Hey, look at me. I'm doing good.
You're doing so good. I love it.
Yes, Michael.
And we got all the time in the world, so don't feel like you need to rush or anything. Just take your time. We're good.
No clock.
Yeah. Sorry, I got speedy care, right? I have run some articles for autism magazine called Autism Matters. I am in social groups. I did finish my book, Michaelism, my POV on life with autism.
Love it. I like the art. Who did the artwork on that book, Michael?
I did actually.
You did.
Yeah, I
I
did.
like those shapes. They're dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right now, my book is now available on Amazon, Google Plays, Apple Books, Barnes and Nobles, and Walmart.
Great.
And Walmart.
So we will post a link to your book in the show notes. So anyone who's listening, check the show notes, and we will post a link there after the show.
Oh, yeah, I'm not finished yet. It says, let people know how are we human. We have feelings. We're sensitive. We're caring. And we do want friends and to live as normally as possible. You know, I'm on social media like Facebook, Instagram, or blogs. But I prefer to keep Twitter as my personal. Yeah, I'm gonna. All right.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna like one.
Do you like social media? Do you find that's like helps you keep in touch with
Yeah.
people, especially during COVID?
Yeah. 1 second here. Yep.
If you had to choose, Michael, social media or talking to somebody?
Talking to somebody at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, Michael, where were we?
Oh. There are two answers, yes or no. Let's face it, if someone can take a magic pill and you will be no longer autistic, what will you take it? There are two answers, yes or no. Yes. If I take one, then I will be not have autism. But what would I be like? Or two, no, I wouldn't. I will like who I am. I'm just the way I am. But I don't think I would take the pill.
Mm-hmm.
That's your answer? That's your answer, Michael?
Yes.
I like it. Me too.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I like who you are.
Yeah,
like
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Well, I still pace it back and forth. Odd time. I flick my hands.
Yeah.
In my face. I call one of my safe people, their therapist, and talk to them for hours. I also write things down too. That helps out. Helps a lot. The last resort I take is calm down pill. Sometimes I go in my room and lie down and have rest. That's what I always do.
Mm-hmm.
In the dark or the light on?
It doesn't matter.
Huh. So we just got a message from Michael here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
That's your Facebook page.
Yes.
All right. So he just sent Michael just sent us a couple links. So I'll include those links in the show notes to Michael's Facebook page, Instagram, etc.
Cool. So, Michael, do you think every day that you need to take like a consistent timeout, or is it multiple timeouts a day? How does it work for you?
Well, I'm not very good at lying, but whenever having a hard time, I would just time out and go lie down in bed.
Lie down in bed. Yeah.
Yes.
And like, how long does it take before you're like feeling like you are restored and can go back to the world?
Yeah.
How long does that take though? Usually half an hour.
Half an hour, you know.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
It's so important that everybody, even neurotypical people, get that message too. I always allude to the fantastic Mr. Fox movie with Wes Anderson writing the meditative.
Exactly.
That movie.
Yeah, exactly.
The fox just politely says, "I'm gonna go meditate for a half an hour. I'll be right back."
Yeah. Oh, I've seen the movie before.
Do you think that character's autistic? I feel like he is.
Yeah, he is.
Thanks for confirming that. I've always wondered that.
Which character?
There's like a really like beautiful young sort of young man fox in the story. I don't know his name off by heart. But
Maybe Chris or something?
yeah. And he's sort of like, the fantastic Mr. Fox to be, if you will. And whenever it's stressful, there's large groups. 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, he says, "I'm going to go meditate." And it's Brilliant.
Very cool.
Okay, Michael, what's next? You're in charge here, bud.
I think that's it or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can just sort of open it up to sort of free flowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That's the way people should be accepted, and they should get jobs and all this stuff. Just
Yeah. It's hard.
people cannot be left out or be ignored. That's just plain wrong.
I agree.
What job would you want to do? What's your dream job?
I wouldn't mind helping people with autism be able to accept themselves.
Like a coach for autism?
Yes.
I think you'd be freaking good at that.
Yes.
I think that's
Or SAD advocator, actually.
what's that?
Advocator.
ASV advocator.
Yeah. How old are you, Michael?
29 actually.
29. Cool.
I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Yeah. What can you I'm curious to know a bit about your book, like your project. How what was your goal with that, or what was your inspiration, and then how long did it take you, and what was your process?
My parents told me not to give up on this book, but whenever I give up, my parents will be like, "Don't give up, Michael. Just keep writing.
Yeah.
All right. Parents, that's a good message.
Just keep writing, Michael, and you're not stopping it."
So what are some of the topics that you cover, Michael?
Okay. Okay, let's see. My POV on me. Autism spectrum disorder. Accomplishment. School. Anxiety. Emotions. Friends. All of that stuff,
Yeah.
and hobbies. However, I might want to do. All right. Some people think that people with autism do not experience complex emotions. That they are wrong. I feel anger, sadness, happiness, disgust, jealousy, empathy, love, and anxiety, as well as many more.
Yeah. So you're not a robot.
I feel them excruciatingly hard. What were you going to say, Rye?
No, I was just said, so you're not a robot?
No.
No. Now the book, is it with a publisher? Did you self-publish? Like, how did you get it out into the world?
Oh yeah, I self-published actually.
Very
with
cool.
the help of Ingram Spark.
Very cool.
Cool.
And you got it out there into the world.
And I always wanted to be on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah.
Well,
That's
maybe he'll see this and he'll be like, I got to get that guy on my show.
Yes.
We'll put this show, when we put this show up, we can all tweet the link to him and see what's up.
Yeah.
You never know, man. Stranger things have happened.
So, Michael, is there much of a support community for you in Thornhill? How does that work?
Are you kidding me? Do you know how friendly I am? My mom and dad loves me. My older brother loves me, and my friends from school love me.
Nice.
They do care about me.
I cry every show. I cry every podcast. So just take it easy on me, Michael.
Oh, sorry. It happens to me. I get really excited.
Yeah.
So your family's really supportive, but are there like autism support groups in the area too?
Yeah, like Carrie's Place, all that stuff.
Carrie's Place.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell us about that.
I'm not very good at this, but perhaps.
You're doing great. And this is a STEM safe world. You can do whatever you want on this podcast and you're accepted, okay?
And if there's a question you can't answer or don't know or don't want to answer or don't feel comfortable, you can just say, let's skip it. Next question. It's all good, man. This is your world. We're here to support you, and we're just curious about your life, and we want to get to know you. So, but we want to do it in whatever way feels good for you.
Yeah.
because like I have to can I hope you don't mind me saying this, but um I'm really getting this sense from you, like you seem like a really self-possessed individual, and I like that is a compliment. I'm saying, like, I'm really impressed. I just feel like I'm getting this sense from inside of you that you're just have this
You
understanding
love
of
yourself.
yourself and this drive, and it's blowing me away, man. Like I can feel it, and it's really powerful and it's really amazing, and I
Yeah,
love it.
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think the more people with autism that we get to speak to, I realize that, like, because of maybe a heightened sense of awareness or emotions, like a lot of people with autism like love themselves.
Yeah,
And I think you're one of those people. And it's hard. Such a hard thing to do, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sick and tired of being left out. Just
yeah,
it really upsets me.
Yeah.
yeah,
People should accept me just the way I am. Just be like, they should welcome me into one of the. I don't really know how to say the word.
yeah. Oh, I think
Social what?
into everything. I mean,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
and you know what? People that are not welcoming or are not making an effort to create spaces that are welcoming, they're really doing themselves a disservice, because they're missing out on getting to meet some really amazing people and have some really amazing people contribute to their lives. There's no, it's not. I don't even look at it as like you should just do this for like charity's sake. It's like, no, you actually are going to benefit from making
Yeah.
your world welcoming to
Absolutely.
autistic people. It's and
Absolutely.
and
Michael, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. I just
no,
had
no,
I want
it's okay.
my boss, well, like my soon to be boss at work, just sort of let everybody know recently on a Zoom call that his son has autism, and it was so beautiful how he did this. But the way that he presented it was, I'm so lucky. It's not like I have to change all these things now and make all these accommodations, which is kind of how it was in my family a little bit. Like you're a little bit of a this is sort of a hardship. Whereas he was like, I'm gonna learn so much cool shit because of my son's perspective on life that I'm gonna be enlightened. You know what I mean? My
yeah,
chances of being an empathetic person are now greater because my son has autism. And when
yeah,
the rest of the world says, how can we get more autism people involved in the conversation? I think we're going to be in a better place.
yeah,
That's all I got to say.
yeah. And I think if I can add a little bit to that, I think as we get more awareness and more acceptance, it, everything in life is a two-way street, I don't, but I know from somebody like Michael, looking at you and your life and then thinking about my own. I'm 15 years older than you. I was only diagnosed last year, but I was one of these people that masked and hid my whole life. So I was hiding in plain sight and bending over backwards internally to accommodate the world and like not get found out, whatever that means, that I'm weird or something. And now it's like I have to unlearn that process and then learn how to be myself, learn how to accept myself, how to just live authentically. So I'm getting inspired when I see someone younger than me who's already kind of doing it. And I can look at you and go, wow, this is really cool. Like, and I'm really happy to hear you've got that support. You've got family and friends that love you and support you. It makes a world of difference, and it's amazing. And look at you, you're 29 and you've self-published a book already. Holy
Yes.
Lord, that's amazing to me. Like
Thank
I
you.
have ideas about writing a book, but man, where I'm working on one, but man, it's really cool.
He's writing other people's books right now, Michael. He can't
Well,
even
yeah,
write his own.
I'm writing I'm sort of ghostwriting an autobiography for somebody right now, which is a really fun project. I'm having a blast doing it. It's a lot of hard work, as you know, writing a book is, but I really love the process. And it's the story. It's the life story of a person that I love, who I'm really inspired by and who I consider a friend as well. So that's really neat. But yeah, this is great, man. I'm going to order your book after this is done, and I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, go for it. Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So add another sale to your to your maybe we'll get you on the bestseller list. Who knows? Everyone who's listening to this, go buy the book now. Yeah. Let's get this guy on the charts.
Next Zoom call, he's gonna have like a big gold chair that he's sitting in.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah, we'll see you on Trevor Noah. We'll be like, we had him on our show first.
Yeah.
Or Stephen Colbert or something like that,
Yeah, buddy.
No, do you see like, speaking of the media side of things, Michael, like what do you think about the way autism is viewed or portrayed in the media? Do you have any thoughts on that subject?
I think shows with people with autism, like The Good Doctor, Raymond, Ataru, It's a Japanese Drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Other Sister, right?
Have you guys watched Atypical? Either of you?
No.
That was on. It's on Netflix. I quite enjoyed it. It's a show about a family, and there's like two teenage kids, and there's a sister who's a bit older and a brother who's a bit younger, and the brother is autistic. But the show focuses on like the whole family. It's not just about him, but it's it's interesting.
Like for me, it's all about who's the writer, and what's the context, because the good doctor portrayal of autism is so different from what you're describing to me with Atypical.
Yeah. What is The Good Doctor? I've never seen that.
Michael, do you want to describe The Good Doctor for Ryan?
I'm not a big fan of The Good Doctor, actually.
Why? Tell us why, though.
I'm not a big fan of that. I do not care for it a lot.
Do you think it like pigeonholes people with autism a little bit? Like, really what we need is what we're finding every week on this show, and we talk about it every week, is that people with autism are profoundly unique and profoundly different, and we need those portrayals in media and mainstream media especially. Is that what you're kind of like saying with The Good Doctor, or am I off here?
Actually, I'm not a huge fan of that.
You just don't like the show?
No.
You just don't like the show?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Did not care about The Good Doctor.
Yeah. Are there any autism heroes that you have? Like, is there someone in the autism world that you're like, because like, you're one of my heroes. I come across every time I jump on this Zoom call every Saturday, I find new people to admire. Mm-hmm. Like, who do you look up to?
I don't have no idea.
No.
It's you. You're focused on what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, it is me.
It's you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Self-love, man. Self-love.
I'm a big fan of Anthony Hopkins, especially when I found out recently that he was diagnosed in his 70s as autistic.
And don't forget Elon Musk.
Yeah, he just recently said he has Asperger's, right? Publicly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this.
I mean, we all knew, obviously, because
sometimes Elon Musk comes off as a douchebag to me. Like when I think of people with autism, I think of caring people. Sometimes some of the shit that guy says, just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to him, but yeah. Well, there's I mean, hey, autistics are people. Some of us are nice and some of us are assholes, just like regular people.
Right?
There's
you said that like episode 1 or 2. Yeah.
What's that?
I remember you said that episode 1 or 2. Like you were like, hey, there's still assholes in the autism community.
Yeah, 100%, man. There's still sociopath autistics and narcissistic autistics and asshole autistics. And then there's the flip of that. There's highly empathic ones that are compassionate and caring and loving and open and giving and beautiful and then everything in between. Just like regular people, I think this is what is classified as a disorder is just like a difference in brain functioning in like certain aspects, like socializing and sensory input and stimming and these kinds of things. But the personality side of things, like the spectrum between empathic personality traits and narcissistic or sociopathic and traits, like that whole spectrum is lives within neurotypical and neurodiverse people. So yeah, it's I've certainly seen a few of them around, encountered a few of them, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because we also don't want to establish this sort of like us versus them mentality with the life autistic. It is everyone, neurotypical and neurodiverse people coming together to like bridge the gap in understanding.
Yeah. And we don't want to portray
No.
anything unrealistic. Like you don't want to portray this image of like autistic people as like these magic unicorns either, because we're just people. We have the same feelings, we have the same stuff, and we can, like, I can be a grumpy asshole sometimes. I try not to be, but I'm a human being. So sometimes I can be a real jerk to people I care about, and then I afterwards go, man, I'm sorry, like I was a dick there. And it's not, I can't, I sure my autism might sometimes contribute to like feelings of getting frustrated or having communication breakdowns where I just go like, oh, like, why don't you understand? And then I can kind of be a dick. And it can, but it never is an excuse to be an asshole. And after the fact, I always can feel bad.
You're making a good point.
Maybe,
right.
I can feel bad after and be like, oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to be a dick there. What, like, Michael, how do you feel?
Hell, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever have that experience, Michael?
That's a long story. I did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't want to lie.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Because it causes pain. Lying is pain.
Yeah. What do you do for your own like self-soothing?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I go on the computer and I listen to my music.
Yeah.
Because it helps me calm me down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Drew?
Do you have headphones? Yeah, I'm like Michael, man. I try and like I have all these like carpentry projects, and we have a barn outside. It's like a dilapidated barn, but somehow it's still standing up, and I'm able to put a bunch of saws and shit in there. And yeah, like it's like a little puzzle. It keeps me like, instead of ruminating about things that are negative or things that I can't change and people I can't change, I try and get my mind to think about the woodworking and what I have to stain next or sand next. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
And
for me, it's nature time is big. Like alone time and nature time. I try to get some I need alone time every day, or I just am no good to anyone, and I need nature time every day too. So just the best thing for me is just like a walk in the woods by myself, just like half hour, 45 minutes or an hour, just sometimes with headphones on, sometimes with just the sounds of nature, and sometimes back and forth between the two. But yeah, that's what does it for me, I think. Movement, body movement and mind stillness at the same time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a Beastie Boys song.
Body movement, body movement, body movement, body movement, body movement, body movement. Okay, we're gonna take that part and make that a clip and put that on Instagram, right, Drew?
Yeah, definitely, but true.
Yeah.
Michael got in there. I love that Michael just...
I know. It's getting your groove on, dude.
Yo, can we just pause and say how dope are the Beastie Boys? Like, for real. Like,
I love
massively
them.
important.
You like that, Mike? Do you like them?
Yes.
Yeah? Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I actually, I was just digging through, like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, I worked as a music journalist, and I was just digging through some old magazines a few weeks back, and I found an interview that I actually did with MCA of the Beastie Boys for
Oh my God, really?
for a music magazine. Yeah, and I remembered the conversation with him, and it was like, I don't know, man. I was so stoked to talk to him, but I could also tell, like, you know, when those artists have like a new thing to promote and that, you know, they're doing 100 interviews, and you just like, I used to hate that scenario because you can just tell they're sick of answering questions. So I would always be like, try to not ask the same shit I know everyone else is going to ask, but like try to find a way to like make this a funner conversation for them. And I don't know if I mean, sometimes you succeed and sometimes you don't. I don't know if I succeeded doing that with him, but I do remember just being so honored to even hear his voice on the telephone because, you know, they were so huge to me, and he was always my favorite in the group. Anyway,
No, that reminds me of the Fat Lip. Same thing with London Calling. Like we had Fat Lip come to call the office, and he was having problems getting over the border. And like I remember, finally when we got, it was like 4 hours after the time that we were supposed to interview him, and like everyone's tired, but like we finally get it. And then you're like, okay, how do I make this like authentic? And the authentic thing is that he couldn't get across the border, so we just talked about that.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man,
Michael, who's your favorite hip-hop artist of all time?
Flow Rider.
Nice.
That was quick.
And
concise. Yeah, I like it.
Very cool.
Michael, are you reading any books out? Like, obviously you're working on Michaelism, and we promoted that. We're gonna definitely direct our guests to that book, and we are gonna make ourselves familiar with that book. Are there any resources from other like autism, any other autism resources you could recommend?
Oh, that's a great question.
Thanks, homie. Every now and then I surprise a few peeps.
Every time, man.
Every show, I bring one good question.
No, about a dozen.
Baker's dozen, Bob.
I'm not just sure, huh?
That's okay. Yo, you can hit us back. Like, feel free to email us after the show.
Yeah.
If you come, because we both like we'll read something and we'll forget it on the show. But we are trying to compile like a library. If you will.
All right.
Yeah. I've got like a little section on my bookshelf of all my autism books. Here, I'm gonna grab them. Show you guys.
Yeah, man, Ryan, we got to meet up because I got some brisket I want to give you that I put on my smoker that I made, and I want some autism books.
So
lending.
This is the one I probably mention every show, and I've had a few people message me and say they've ordered it and been like, "Oh my god, it's the best book." But this
Wiley?
one here,
oh my god,
Very Late Diagnosis of Asperger's Syndrome by Philip Wiley. This book, Philip Wiley. This book changed my life. This is the one when I read this book, and everyone who listens to the show hears me say this every single episode, and I think it's just going to be a thing I'm always going to talk about. But this book, every single page, I just went, "Oh my god, that is me. Holy shit. Oh my god." It was just completely, it was like when I finished this book, I just went, "Holy shit, I'm autistic." Like that just confirmed it. I've been trying to find this guy for a year and a half, and I can't find him anywhere. I've tried emailing the publisher. I've tried searching him on social media. If anyone out there knows how to get a hold of Philip Wiley, that's what he looks like.
Ryan, that's your new freaking zine magazine. I
need to talk to him. This one's also really good. The Complete Guide to Asperger's Syndrome by Tony Atwood. It's a really good book. Jillian Drew, an adult with an autism diagnosis. I haven't read this one yet, but it's next in line. Gillian Drew. Sorry.
Gillian Drew. This is so dope, man. I love that you're doing this.
Aspergirls. This is a really good one. Empowering females with Asperger's syndrome. This is fantastic. New ways of understanding autism.
Bridget
Another
Harrison.
another one that I haven't read yet, but I will. Look Me in the Eye. This is a pretty well-known book by John Elder Robeson. We talked about this one last week with shit. What was the guy's name from San Diego?
Oh, what a gem.
I feel like such a dick to not remember. Sorry, man.
Usually I have my.
We had this amazing conversation last week, and now I'm just like,
All
but
about
that's
Michael, though.
but this
It's all
is
about Michael.
yeah, it's all about you right now, Michael. That's why. And I have the memory of a goldfish. This is another one I just recently ordered, but I haven't read yet. The 9 Degrees
Nice.
of Autism. And then
Oh, yeah, nice.
this one, I think a lot of people know, Neurotribes. And I've got a
Neurotribes,
few,
huh?
I've got a few more, but I just moved and I'm just unpacking boxes. So whenever I find my other autism books, I'm putting them, I'm creating a little section on my bookshelves. But those are some of the ones I have. There'll be obviously yours added to that collection soon.
Michael just got a quick nap in there.
Oh, sorry. I was just scratching.
No, it's all good. Yeah. Well, this is the part of the show where Ryan's going to bore us to death with his book collection. Let's just have a rest.
And if you, honestly, like, I think one thing that would be cool is in the future is if one of us is reading a book or has a paragraph like Michael did today, where there's something we want to share. I think that's really a great way to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should, huh?
Yeah,
Thanks for doing
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think, yeah, like another thing, we're kind of slowly working on our website right now. And when we do get it up, we'll have like a section of recommended books and links and stuff like that.
Yes.
Resources, and eventually we'll have the Life Autistic book up there.
All right.
So
You know,
anyway,
I started,
what's that?
go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, I started to like just because I was thinking about like our conversation from way back with Rose, and a lot of autistic people we've spoken to find it hard to meditate, and it's something that I find hard to do because my brain is just trying to steer me anywhere but still.
Yeah.
And the way that I've figured out, like, just for myself how to do it is I close my eyes and I breathe into like a certain number of numbers, whether it's 50 or 100, whatever I can tolerate, you know.
Yeah.
And all I'm trying to see and visualize are, more air going into the number that I'm just visualizing in my head. And I'm obviously, I'm a real numerical kind of person, and that way of doing it, I'm sure I'll get sidetracked and I'll think, well, don't I have to cut the grass today, or don't I have to go do this or whatever? And it's like, what number am I on? Let's get back there.
Yeah.
And finish. And it's just something that I was like, maybe if I just in a very simple way articulate this in a book, some other autistic person can like grab it and hold on to it. And I don't know. Yeah. It's not going to be like Michael's bestseller or anything, but I don't know.
No, hey man, sounds like a very very cool meditation practice. I mean,
thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
So, Michael, do you have any comorbid conditions that you know of?
Sorry?
Any comorbid, like any other than autism, any other things? Like for me, I have autism and ADHD and a bunch of others, dyspraxia. I think
I don't remember that. I do have a mix of autism and Asperger's, just because I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like lying either. I find it really difficult to lie, and I find it I'm always surprised when people lie to me, and I just like, oh yeah, I forget that that's a thing that people do.
It's fucked up for me though, because like for so long I like tried to make everybody happy, so in a way I was lying to myself so hardcore because I like didn't have the energy to juggle so many interests and emotions. And then finally when I was like, I think I'm autistic, I was like, I have to actually like limit interaction and limit like I have to have, like Rose said, like you only have so much energy bars in your character,
Yeah.
Whereas before I was lying to myself, running around trying to be everyone's best friend. It was like so fucking painful.
Yeah. I feel your pain on that, man, for sure.
I tried making new friends, but all they do is just ignore me and not to accept me. They think I'm really weird.
Yeah.
You're not, bro.
How
You're
about
not weird.
so the friends that you do have you been friends with them for a long time?
Yes,
Like since childhood?
since high school days, actually.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
That's really important. You got friends that accept you. What kind of stuff do you guys do together?
Bowling, movies, and Comic-Con of conventions.
Yeah, very cool.
Can you spin, can you make the ball kind of turn like in bowling? Can you make it like spin the way you want it to spin?
That's a good, tricky question, actually.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are your favorite comics when you go to the Comic Cons? Like what are you into the most? Like Japanese stuff, I take it.
Japanese stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Other than that, I like to bring me stuff with me so I can get it signed.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you dress up?
No,
No.
I would love to cosplay one day.
Yeah.
Yo, yesterday on Bloor Street, I was on a film set with my friend. He's doing this short film, and you know those like 3-wheel vehicles where there's 2 wheels in the front and then there's 1 wheel in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but they're not cars and they're not motorcycles, but there's something in between.
Yeah.
And the dude was decked out, full leather suit and like a Batman mask. I
No
can send you.
way.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I'll send you guys. This should be in the show notes. And I was just like, he's just taking it to like his own level. Like, it's all,
That's amazing.
I was amazed. But it was like a traffic jam and he couldn't go anywhere. And like literally everyone was just gathering around and he was just like, Batman was a little irate.
Did he have a cape?
Yeah, everything, man.
So when he would actually be going, the cape would be like.
Well, I think he was sitting on it because he's like, you actually in this vehicle, there's 2 seats. And then like, it's a really strange.
Oh, it's not like a motorcycle kind. It's not the kind you sit on like a motorbike. You sit in it like
that
a
would
car.
be bad.
Okay, I know what you mean now. That's so cool. Wow. Man.
Like, committed.
Yeah.
Do you think you ever would dress up, Michael, at a Comic-Con or something like that?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
You're there as like a fan.
Yeah.
Cool. Plus, you're already a superhero in regular life.
There you go.
All right.
Right on. Well, anything else we want to cover, guys, before we get our groove on?
I'm good.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
good, Michael?
Yeah. Awesome.
Michael, really great to meet you, man, and to hear your perspective, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. We will we'll be in touch. We'll get this podcast up shortly and the video up as well. I'll send to you. And and I'm looking forward to reading your book, man. And we'll put anyone who's listening, Michael has a book. What's it called again? Michaelism?
My POV on life with autism.
Perfect. So we will post the links to Michael's social media and where you can find the book in the show notes. Anyone listening, and you can also I'm just looking at it right now. So Facebook.com/Michael. Am I pronouncing it right? Tanzer?
Yeah.
Michael Tanzer, TANZERASD. So Michael Tanzer ASD on Facebook and Instagram, Michael Tanzer. And there we go. And as always, anyone listening, you can find us online, Instagram at The Life Autistic. Facebook's the same, The Life Autistic, and Twitter, we are at Life Autistic Pod. So I'm Ryan. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Michael. We very much appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato. It's been a pleasure. And thanks, Drew, as always. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Sayonara.
Bye, everyone. Peace.
Peace, yo.